going on, guys? So in this video I'm going to show you how to install a blow-off valve in your B58. Now we technically don't need this in our car unless you're pushing over 1,000 horsepower or so. There are many videos that explain this in clean depth and how and why this works. And I'll post all the videos down below. Now, if you're looking for that blow-off valve sound, this is the way to go. And I'm gonna show you the easiest way you can do it, in my opinion. So I decided to go with the kit that comes from Big Boost, or you can go with Burger Motorsports and they sell it at $5.99 and they send you the upper charge pipe and the lower charge pipe, so you get both. For this to work, they mount a flange to the charge pipe and then they mount the blow-off valve to the charge pipe itself. My biggest recommendation is if you have an FTP charge pipe like I do, you can simply go to your local exhaust shop, have them cut a hole, and weld on the flange so the blow-off valve is able to connect to it. You need a boost adapter. This is for your boost tap so we can get pressure to the blow-off valve. Torque Solutions sells them at Amazon for $44 and it's a very, very solid solution. You also need a line with 2 hose clamps and you need a 1/8 NPT to 1/4 plug so you can run to the blow-off valve. I will link everything down below. Just let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. You need a pick tool, 16mm socket, a T30 or a key to remove the 3 bolts holding in the upper charge pipe to the throttle body, and a flathead. Remove this trim, remove this bolt, 16mm. Scoot this bar out of the way so you're able to reach the 3rd screw on the throttle body. Disconnect your sensors to the charge pipe, push these clips up, squeeze, pull it out. Do the same for the other one. If you have a nitrous line, remove that. I like to cocoon something right under the 3rd bolt, so just in case it falls, it doesn't fall in the engine bay. This is my little safety net. My biggest recommendation is start with the bolt on the bottom. So T30, and it comes out. Luckily, there's ridges on it, so you can just twist it with your fingers and it comes right off. You have 2 more. And loosen your upper charge pipe clamp from the coupler so you can release it. Now simply just pull it out of place. Just like that. This would be the absolute best time to replace your throttle body gasket. It sees a lot of heat and cycles, so mine is already eaten out. I know what to do next time, so I'll change this out. Remove both sensors from the charge pipe. Pull this big guy out very slowly because there's a gasket on this one too that seals it in. There you go. With this one, you twist it counterclockwise and it should pop right off. Now, if you're like me and you have an FTP or another brand charge pipe, you can simply go to your local exhaust, have them cut a hole right down here. Just make sure they clear the belt and weld on the flange so the blow-off valve can stick on. But let me show you how that looks. Put your sensors back in. Screw this one clockwise. Give it finger tight. Don't over tighten it. Back your sensor and put the screw back in. And now we're ready to put on the blow-off valve. Put your gasket in place. Now with the blow-off valve, so what you want to do is press on the screw so you're able to flex and put it on the charge pipe. Make sure when you put it on the charge pipe, orient the screw facing the front of the car so it doesn't touch the belt when it's spinning. So go ahead and tighten that screw down nice and tight. Blow-off valve has 2 ports. We're going to seal one of the ports. It doesn't matter which one. Tighten it down. Now we're going to set up our vacuum line. What you need is a boost adapter so you're able to give pressure to the blow-off valve to tell it when to close or open. The one from Torque Solutions is very good quality. It's actually billet aluminum, so it's not going to bend or crack under pressure. You have 2 lines coming from your intake. These are your evap lines. You want to get to the one that's closest to your intake manifold and simply click these 2 in from the ridges and pull it out. Pulls out just like that. You have to wiggle it a little bit the first time. Put in the boost adapter in between the intake manifold and the line. Click that in place. Turn it so you can aim the tap pointing upwards. And this goes into the intake manifold. Just like that. You put your AN fitting into your line and you seal it with a hose clamp. Once it's clamped, it'll look something like this. Go ahead and put this into the blow-off valve. Tighten it down. Once we put the upper charge pipe back on the car, then we'll put this line on the boost tap and secure it with this hose clamp. Now this is just for future reference, just in case you want to show your mechanic this. The blow-off valve is a little bit offset of the charge pipe so it doesn't touch the belt when it's spinning. Feed the charge pipe back into the coupler, move your line out of the way, and seat it back on the throttle body. Put your safety net back down there and start with the bottom screw. Don't tighten it down too much yet until you put in the top 2 screws next. The charge pipe and the throttle body have to be touching. There's no space at all. So tighten them evenly. You want to get your vacuum line, put your hose clamp through it, and run this line to your boost tap adapter that we put on earlier. Once it's tight, this line is not going anywhere. And now all you got to do is zip tie it to these lines. Tighten down your coupler clamp, plug your cables back in. You have 2 of them. One, push the clip in, and the second. If you have port injection, nitrous, whatever the case, plug it in here. If not, seal it off. Put your bar back in place. and put your trim back on. And you're all done. Now let's go outside and do some test pulls. Let's see how it sounds inside and outside of the car. Keep in mind, I'm stage 2, so it's pushing about 20 PSI through that charge pipe. So you're able to hear it when you're letting go off the gas at about 3,000 to 4,000 RPM, for example, like this. You can hear inside of the car fairly well. I know the camera doesn't do justice, but it sounds pretty damn good. Even on downshifts, you can hear it go off. Pay attention to this number. This is my PSI boost, so I'll even do anti-lag just so we can see how much we're building. So there you go, about 16-20 PSI. If you have the stock downpipe, I highly suggest you go with the BMS kit, because they send you the lower charge pipe portion of it as well. If you were like me and decided to buy a charge pipe long ago, like an FTP or another brand, you can always just cut it like I said and have them weld that on and you're good to go. And that'll save you about $400 or $500 so you don't have to spend. This kit that I got is the same exact one, and I'll post every little piece by itself, link by link. I got it for $800. It's a little pricey for what it is, but it is what it is. If I had all of these in front of me at the time, I would have known that I can just basically do it by myself. But we live and we learn. So I really hope it saves you guys some money in the long run if you want this option. It was a little dark once I finished. I'm gonna get some clips and post them on my Facebook and Instagram. My links are down below if you guys want to see more clips of these. Alrighty guys, until next time. Alright, that's not good. Alright, you guys need to open up. Take a step back. Take a step back. Well, he wants to go for it. Alright, we need to make sure we pass that on video. There you go. Alright, you gotta do 3 reps. Ready? Go. Peace.